So this is a piece of Siberian elm from the tree in our backyard, and it looks like a decent sized piece, but this bark is really thick and it comes around over to here. This was the outer side of the tree, and it's got this little area here where it goes in. So I'm going to cut it somewhat round, and I have something in mind I want to try turning with this piece, and hopefully there's enough wood to do it. So I'll go cut this into size and I'll be right back. Alright, I have it on a worm screw. I bandsawed it fairly close to round. What I want to do right now is just make this round, and then we'll start making a shape on it. Right now I got about 450. I expect to get more once we get it round. Well, I had to cut this much off the bottom because it was just all of that bark going down in here, and it just wasn't going to look good. So I'm going to shorten everything. What I want to do is cut down in here and leave a tight little fillet, and we'll start reshaping it and seeing how much I'll have left for a base. This piece has a lot of issues in it. I can't say for sure I'm going to be able to finish it, but I'm going to try. I just put some of the black Starbond CA glue in these big cracks, so they look pretty filled up. I'm going to let them sit a while because it went in there pretty deep, and I've cut this before even after spraying it with accelerator, cut it away and then got sprayed with the CA glue underneath, and that's not fun. Okay, I have them patched, and I have this side pretty much worked out. Just a little sanding. I think I'm going to take it out and flip it over and put it in the chuck, and then work on that shape there. That way I can see what's going on with that crack to see how much more I need to do to it. So let me get that done, and I'll be back. Take it off the worm screw, and I have it in my chuck, and I have already sanded the CA glue on this side, and it looks pretty good. So let's keep turning this down, and we will pay close attention to this bad crack and see if it's going to be nice to us. So let's see what kind of RPMs we can get here. About 900 RPMs. Alright, I think we can make that work. So, Let me move some things and pull the tailstock back and we will start hollowing it. Okay, we're all set up, and I'm going to take a couple of cuts over here and see what's going on with this crack, and I may have to do a little work on it. So I decided to go ahead and drill this out. Started with an inch bit, and then I went to a 2 1/8 inch. Okay, it's all drilled out and ready to hollow. I'll use my modified hollowing tool. I only tried it the one time and it worked. This tool is made from 1/2 by 1/2 steel, which I bent and machined and filed and whatever it took to get the shape. I can either put on the round carbide that's about a 1/2 inch, or I can use the smaller one, which is about 11/32 of an inch. They both fit. I did modify it by epoxying a piece of oak onto it to make that shaft a little wider where it sits on the tool rest. There was just too much leverage against it. I'm still working on that, and I may make it wider yet. Really all I need to do is blend this up into here. I think that's it. Alright. I'll finish this tomorrow. Alright, I have it pretty much shaped. It's all down to just slightly less than 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to use a negative rake scraper to finish any little tool marks, and we'll be ready to sand. Okay, so I've got some 80 grit. Slow this down to about 450 or so. So I'll get it all sanded to 400. We'll come back and put a finish on it. Alright, I have everything sanded to 400, and now it's time to put a finish on it. And I'm going to go with sanding sealer and shellac. This is the sanding sealer. I'm just going to pour some in there because it's going to be the easiest way to get it on. It's not going to drip out of there for sure. Okay, so that's about what we're going to do. I'll get a few coats of this on, and I'll get the shellac on, and I'll be back to try something a little different. So I've been asked how I put my finish on and if I would show it. So I'm going to do that. It's actually very simple. I have the sanding sealer on, and I'm getting ready to put shellac on. So I'm going to take the fine Scotch-Brite, and I'm going to run this maybe about 500, and I'm just going to kind of polish it off. If there's any streaks, that will helps to level everything out. And that looks pretty good. So, just in case there was anything that come off, I'd like to wipe it down. So, I'm going to put a little bit of shellac on here. And it'll absorb it in there, yet it'll come out. So it's almost like a ready-made applicator. And then I just wipe it on. And not very thick. Pieces of old t-shirt will work just as good. I just have ran out of those. So I tried this and I like it. So that's one coat of it like that, and it doesn't look like it'll need the Scotch-Brite, but maybe after 2 more I'll use the Scotch-Brite. So that's how I put it on, and like I say, it's actually very easy to do. So now I'm going to try a product that I've been interested in for the longest time, and I just haven't done it, and that would be the Acks abrasive paste. And I want something that's food safe for sure, because I'm going to make some turnings that I want to be able to say yes, they are food safe, and I'll just be using it on the inside in most cases. But I got a hold of Tom and discussed his product for the longest time and said I've been wanting to order it and I want to try it. So he sent me some and we're going to try it right now. That's going to be interesting to try for sure. So I'll get some on. It should be good. Now you get to find out how it works. We'll start out about 400. Those little pieces of material I'm using is the microfiber cloth from Harbor Freight. It's one of the freebies that you get when you go in there and purchase something. Alright, let's try the polish. That's what I'm really interested in. So here's his polish restoring paste. So this is not a demo or a review of the product, but due to time I'm running it a little faster, but I will tell you my opinion at the end. Okay, I'll do this to the inside, and I'm not going to make you watch that part because I have something else going on with this and the video is going to get really long if I'm not careful. Well, I think this would look good with a lid. This is a piece of maple that was trimmed on our maple tree over 7 years ago, and it was in the firewood pile, and it's all spalted. It's dry. I'm going to slice a piece off of it and make a lid for it. Maybe we'll use it, maybe we won't. I'm going to round this up. I'll be able to flip it back and forth, and I need to cut this to fit. Once that's cut, then I can probably take this tenon off. So let's rough it out, and I can only do a little bit because I have a clogged drain in the house and I've got to go check on it. Runs pretty good. Let me get my face shield. So I have a disc on each side of this piece. They're both hot glued on and they both have tenons on them. This allows me to flip it back and forth while I fit it to the turning. So here it's already flipped one time, and I'm cutting and measuring and fitting it so that it will fit into the bowl. And there will be a little taper on there that will locate it. I hadn't planned on making this lid, so I didn't allow enough time in the video to fit it in without it being an hour long. So I'm going to run it at a little faster speed and explain what I'm doing. So here's the reason I hot glued 2 tenons on this piece, because I now have it flipped again and I'm cutting the top of it. Well, you can see here that I've removed the tenon from the top. And now I'm shaping the lid. I kind of noticed it might look pretty good if I just turned the knob right out of the piece itself. So that's the plan. So now I've created a little knob turned right out of the piece. Kind of liking how it looks. So I take a homemade negative break scraper that fits in there, and I'm cleaning it up right now. So right here you get a good view of the profile of the lid. You can also see the disc that's hot glued onto the bottom of the lid, and it has a tenon on it which is in the chuck. And I'm turning a crown onto the top of this knob and also removing the little pinhole left from my live center. So at this point, nothing's left to do except sand and put the finish on. And I'm not going to show you all that because it's the same as what I did to the bowl itself. Well, here it is, the Siberian Elm Pedestal bowl. I'm happy with how it turned out. I didn't show you cutting the tenon off. It was kind of slow and a little bit tedious. But you've seen me cut the tenons off before. The bowl finished 6.5 inches in diameter, and it's 3 3/4 inches tall, and the walls are about 1/4 of an inch. This piece is very interesting because it has a lot of little burls in it and the beginning of burls. Oh, and it has a couple other things. It's got cracks. I don't necessarily like those, but I patched them up with the black CA and I think it worked out okay. Here's the inside and it looks nice. I put a bevel on here for looks, and there was no intentions on making a lid for it, but the more I looked at it I thought it might look pretty good. So this is a piece of maple that was cut from our maple tree around 8 years ago, and that piece was in the firewood pile and it never got burned for all that time, but it did spalt. So that added some more interest to it. And I think it really goes quite well with it. It just really looks good. Just everything about it I like. And that elm tree and the maple tree, they're about 30-35 feet apart from each other, and now they're together. Pretty happy with that. I finished it with sanding sealer and shellac. And then I tried the Acks product, and I was really pleased with the results. Now, I'm not a sponsor. I was not asked to use or mention the product. I get nothing for saying this, and when I find something that I like, I don't mind passing it on. Do I recommend giving it a try? Yes, I do. It's a quality product from quality people, and I like keeping homegrown businesses going. The polishing paste with the carnauba wax really brought out the shine, and you can see it, especially right here. It's just gorgeous. So I'm happy with the whole thing. I enjoyed doing this turning, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so. And for those of you who are, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment. I read them all. Also, share the video. It really does help it to get more views. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.